Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Serena.
And I'm James.
And we are Life After Union. Today we are talking about the twin flame leap of faith, why every twin has to do this, and what you need to know. Watch this video. Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Today we are talking about the twin flame leap of faith. Before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the little notification bell so you are notified every time we have a new video that comes out, which is about once a week. And thank you guys so much for being here today. Let us know in the comments what you want to see next, what you would like for us to talk about, and what you think about this video. So we're talking about the twin flame leap of faith. So essentially, you guys, this is where at some point in your twin flame journey, you're going to get to a point where you can't move any further. You can't go forward, you can't go backwards, you're kind of just stuck where you are. And this is a lot of times where twin flame limbo can also come in. So we'll make a video maybe about this in the next couple of weeks or so. But twin flame limbo is essentially the fact that you stop taking action and you're in a state of surrender, but you're not actually like working towards your goals anymore. So twins can get stuck in this twin flame limbo without even knowing it, right? Because we get to this 5D point and we're like ascended, right? We've moved on, we've dealt with all of our triggers, but yet we're still not moving towards union. We're kind of like stuck. And so this is where the twin flame leap of faith comes in, is you have to make this big move because the universe is only going to match your energy, you guys. So when you make this big commitment towards union, towards your partner, towards your future, right? Because it's all about us at the end of the day. Yeah. It really actually has nothing to do with like each other. It has to do with like, this is what I want for my life, and it just happens to be you. You are what I want for my life, for me, not for you. You know, like it's all self-serving. Yeah. And so this twin flame leap of faith, you know, we talked about this in a previous video where it can be small, as small as being the first one to reach out in a text message. Or it can be like the big leap of faith, like how you guys are going to come back together. So for us, you know, we were...
You did both.
we were apart, you know, and so for me it was like, okay, I have to get back to where you are in Africa. So let's talk a little bit about our leap of faith and like how, because our leaps of faith were very different. So my leap of faith was different than your leap of faith, but we both still had to take one. So let's talk a little bit about your leap of faith.
So my big leap of faith was leaving my job, which had my financial security. I was getting 3 meals a day. I had board and lodging. I didn't have to pay for anything.
Delicious meals too.
Fantastic food. So I didn't have to pay for anything, and I was getting paid at the same time. So I was living a pretty lush life in a lot of sense. I mean, I wasn't rich, but I wasn't financially rich, but I was rich in a lot of other ways.
And you were doing your passion for work.
Yeah, I mean, I spend every single day in the ocean, which, as you know, for me it's massive. I wish I could spend more time in the ocean if I had the chance. I'd live on the ocean again. So for me, my big leap of faith was leaving my security of having a full-time job where I had financial security. I didn't have to worry about paying for food, paying for groceries, driving my car around and spending petrol. So I had that security of, I had everything I needed in my place. So I left that behind to come back to my hometown to see if whatever this was at that point was going to work out. So for me, my big leap was leaving a huge part of security in what I had to go back to my hometown, which in itself has a bit of security, but to try something that I did not know whether it was going to work or not. I'm really glad that I did do it, but it was very scary and it was very daunting to leave that security, to leave something that I had just found 9 months prior to leaving. Yes, it took 9 months for you as well. Something I'd left 9 months prior to getting into, where I'd found a really cool lifestyle. I was happy, I was healthy, I was fit, and I left all of that to try this wonderful life with this incredible person. And I'm very grateful that I did. But it was scary. It wasn't by any means easy.
What was the thing that helped you overcome that fear? Because you had to talk to your employer, tell them you were leaving.
That was
You had
nerve-wracking.
to make arrangements to be back here, to be without a job for a little while. So there was like a lot of things that kind of had to come together for you. You had to move back home for a bit because you didn't really actually have anywhere to stay or have like built up savings where you could just, go rent an apartment somewhere. So like that really was a big leap of faith. Like what helped you overcome that?
I mean, for me, a big part of it was coming back to my hometown. There was a lot of security in that as well because I know people here. My family is here. I knew I would eventually find work if I needed to. Always had somewhere to stay because my parents would never just kick me out in the curb. They'd be like, "Of course, welcome back here as long as you pay your dues." For me to overcome that was just kind of diving headfirst into something. For me, I'm the kind of person that putting my all into something really helps me because then I kind of know that I haven't left any stones unturned. Because if I didn't go into it, I'd always be wondering what if. So for me, just to go headfirst into it and be like, I'm just going to try this out. I had some security behind me because if something didn't work out, it's in my hometown. So having those factors behind me really helped me take this leap. And of course, the relationship me and you had been building along the way helped a lot as well because, I mean, we're in contact just about every single day. I mean, we would have phone calls sometimes of like up to 4 hours. I'd get like 25-minute voice notes from you. So that as well played a huge part because we had this connection that makes a massive difference. When you've got a partner that gives that to you, the rest kind of seems easy.
Yeah. No, that's true. And I think you hit on a point that I think is really important, which is your faith has to be bigger than your fear.
Yeah.
Right? So like there's a point, and that's why it's a leap of faith, right? Is because you have to fully believe, like with every fiber of your being, this is going to happen. Or if you don't believe it's going to happen yet, you have to at least have the possibility and like the openness to that it could work out, right? Because without that, like the fear will take over and you will doubt yourself and you will say, oh, is this even possible for me? Am I even worthy of it? Like, like there's a million reasons in the twin flame dynamic why it shouldn't work. We're from two different countries. We were raised in two different ways. We have a lot of differences.
Yeah.
But what we have in our differences is so complementary to each other that like it's crazy to think like the whole story of how we came to be and it works, and it works so well. And it's almost crazy that it works that well, like it has to be divinely guided for it to work that well and for it to be like that. So did you have something to say?
Well, and the big thing is if it doesn't work out, then you know.
Yeah.
You're not going to know until you actually try, and that's one thing that at least for me helps.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't try this, who knows where we'd be right now.
Yeah, so if you are in that limbo and you're questioning, okay, should I make the move? Should I do it? Like, you won't know unless you do it. So if you're like a lot of people, you might be comfortable in that limbo phase.
Yeah.
And then because you're comfortable there, like, it becomes like, I don't even want to put myself out on a limb. I don't even want to put myself out there because, like it is comfortable to just already be in the known. And if you go and you reach out and you do that and you're rejected, like that can be really, really scary. Yeah. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to actually be happy because then you can move forward. Because either it's going to be a yes or it's going to be a no. And either way, then you can move forward. You can't move forward if it's still like unknown. Like Schrodinger's cat from the Big Bang Theory. If you guys know, comment down below. So we were kind of opposites. So my leap of faith was that I had the financial security, right? So like I had a bunch of savings from when I was a hairstylist in Chicago, and essentially I knew if I came here and things didn't work out, I had money to buy a plane ticket back home. So that was my biggest security, was like, okay, if I go there and this doesn't work out, I can always go back home. Now, I didn't want that because I would have been feeling like I was going back home a failure. But it was like, okay, I can survive the worst case scenario. And I think that's kind of important to think about when you're taking these leap of faith. Like, what is the absolute possible worst thing that could happen? Maybe you get rejected. Maybe things go south and you have to go back the way that you came. Like, you have to kind of think about these things, because if you can make yourself okay with the worst case possible scenario, then you have nothing to lose, literally. You have nothing to lose. It can only go up from there. For me, that's a really big part of like my process. So my leap of faith was me obviously coming back here. And this was coming to a town that I didn't know. I'd never experienced life here before, because where we met was not your hometown. So me, it was like, okay, I don't know anybody. You're going to be the only person that I know. We didn't know where we were going to be living. So even the first like 6 months or so, we were like house hopping, like babysitting people's houses. I was going to be meeting and staying with your family for literally like the first week of me being here. So it wasn't only just I was meeting James again for the first time in like 6 months. It was like I was spending the whole time, also not the whole time, but a lot of the time with his family. So that was overwhelming. So it was like me being dove into the deep end of like what life with this person is going to look like. And it was intense in the beginning. It was very intense. But like I said, for me, it was like, okay, if I really hate it, I can leave. And that gave me a sense of empowerment, just like your family gave you a sense of empowerment. Like my financial security gave me a sense of empowerment. And it's the same thing that you said, you know, like knowing that I was pursuing this. At the end of the day, like I needed to check this off my list, you know, because if this wasn't the direction for me, then I needed to know that. Because like you, I would have just kept wondering, like, what if? And you can't continue your life like always wondering what if, because you'll never feel like you're actually fully meeting where you need to be. That was our twin flame leap of faith. If you guys have any questions about it, put the comments down below. If you are looking for more support on either taking this leap of faith or getting past the blocks that will take you to this point, I have an incredible course. It's called Relationship Repair, and it literally addresses like 3 of the biggest blocks that any twin flame I've ever talked to has come across in the twin flame journey. So if you're looking for more information about that, links are below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next video. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.